So we are now joined by a man who once confessed that he's getting older and all his friends were getting mortgages, pension plans and married. To answer these questions and more, it's Frank Turner.
I wrote that song when I was like in my early to mid 20s, and it now seems hilarious to me.
Are you not in your mid 20s no more?
No, how very sweet of you. But no, I am in my 40s now. God damn it! And the little 25-year-old me singing "I'm starting to get old" is just like shush now. In retrospect,
you don't have to stretch in the morning.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you know, I'd stand by the song. Of course, it's a good song, and it's done me well. But nevertheless, there was a degree of like. I remember at the time older friends of mine saying, "What are you talking about?" And I now sympathise with them.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, when you are 20, you're like, whatever. I'm getting old now. Ooh, past 18,
like,
that's it, done.
Yeah, and there's that. Well, there's the whole sort of conceit of like, I'll be dead by the time I'm 30, man. Yeah. Which is thankfully, very rarely true. Yeah. So I'm now no longer in my early to mid 20s.
No. Right. So this was going to be the final show of the Never-Ending Tour, but you hadn't announced a bunch more dates. But I did want to celebrate the fact that you've managed in a post-COVID era to do 50 states in 50 days.
Yes.
Which is an incredible achievement.
Thank you.
And then also complete a UK tour with no instances. So I thought it was time to celebrate.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. This is...
and we've been doing this for 8 years now.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do something a bit different at the start of an interview.
Okay.
So we have a beer each.
Okay. That's really sweet. I can't drink this right now.
That's fine.
But I'll hold it.
You can keep it.
Simply because if I drink this right now, I will go to sleep.
But yeah, of the
but
beer
that's great. Thank you.
For you.
That is for after the show. I'm going to drink this the second I get off stage.
Good.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I'm going to touch wood now because it's a strange time, the post-COVID world. It does feel like it's a bit more like manageable now, just in the sense that like if somebody gets COVID, you know, it's a problem, and there are things that we do, but it's not quite like set everything on fire and run for the ships in the way that it was for a time.
Yeah.
You know, I feel very fortunate that we made it through the American tour without anyone in the touring crew going down. We had
it's incredible.
We had some near misses. I got COVID about a week before the tour started, which was nearly a disaster to end all disasters.
Yeah.
Not least because at the time you couldn't get on a plane to America without a negative test.
Yeah.
And obviously I didn't want to get on a plane to America with COVID, but it was just like, you know, I don't fly in the day of the first show usually. Do you know what I mean? Did this time though, didn't I? Simply because you know, we'd run out of time, and I woke up that morning and discovered first of all that this happened on the same day that they had removed the restriction that you needed a negative test to go to America, and then I tested negative, and it was just like, God damn it. And then I flew to America and did the show. So yeah, it was that was a stressful time, for sure. But we got the tour done. 50 states in 50 days is a dumb idea.
I mean, that's why only 3 people have done it.
Yes, well, I sort of realised about halfway through why only 3 people have done it, which is that it's a stupid idea. But we did it, and it's on my CV, and now I wake up every morning and smile, because I never have to do it again. And so that was good. And then this tour's been great. I mean, it is still a rough time for the live music industry, both in terms of cancellations and stuff like that, but also, you know, ticket sales are down for everyone across the board. There's a lot of nervousness, not just residual nervousness about health, but also now, of course, nervousness about cost of living and about bills and about mortgages and la 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 la. So it's a tough time, and I'm proud that we're doing it. You said it was going to be the last show of the Never-Ending Tour everywhere. I mean, I was always going to do more.
I know, but you could change the tour name.
Well, no, I know, but I mean, it's a good name for a tour.
It is.
I might keep it forever.
To be fair, it does kind of sum you up.
Yeah, well, there we go.
Right. Do you remember the very first interview we did and what the prize was?
I mean, was it at the Guildhall?
It was, but not this Guildhall.
Yeah, no, as in the Portsmouth Guildhall.
Yeah.
Although, what a catch-all answer that was. Was it at the Guildhall? I mean, probably. Round here. Could even be the Winchester Guildhall. No, it was at the Portsmouth Guildhall. Was it it can't have been the badge the first time around.
No, that was
because,
here.
Yeah, because that was because of something I said in a previous interview.
Yeah.
No, I don't off the top of my head.
Ah, well, it's fine. Because of budget cuts, we have had gone back to the original
Right,
prize,
okay.
which was a toffee crisp.
I bloody love toffee crisp.
I know. I remember you saying this. I was like, that was a good guess when I walked into a corner shop on that 8 years ago.
I have not had a toffee crisp
In 8 years.
Maybe. I can't remember the last time I had a toffee crisp. Are they 60p now?
Yeah, you can pay
Good
me later.
Lord. 60p for a toffee crisp. Thank you. It's very generous of you.
So we do have a game, of course.
Right, okay. Do I only get it if I win the game?
I mean, I'll probably give it you anyway. won't I? Like, I mean, I know I'm a big man and I want to eat it, but it's fine. So we've got a new game, which I've not played with you before. It's called Stream Me, Stream Me, Say That You Stream Me. It's higher or lower, but with streaming figures.
Okay. Is it my song?
Oh, yes, it's your songs, to make it a little bit easier.
Well, does that make it easier? I don't know.
It should do. They're yours.
Okay, all right. Well,
Just go with your gut. If you like it, if you like the song, say it's higher. So we're going to start with haven't been doing so well, which is at 2.2 million. Right, so that's your starting figure.
Right.
That's your ace when Bruce pulls out the card.
Right.
So we're going from 2.2 to There She Is. Higher or lower for There She Is?
It's been out longer. It wasn't as much of a single, but then it's quite a wedding song. There She Is these days.
I mean, it was used at ours.
Ah, thank you. That's lovely. I'm going to say higher.
Yes, 3.5 million.
Yeah, look at that.
That was the song that my wife walked down the aisle to.
Amazing. That's a beautiful thing.
As soon as she heard it, she's like, that's the song. Right, so we're going from There She Is at 3.5 million to Make America Great Again. I'm never going to sing again in my life, especially in front of the man that sings the song.
I'm going to say lower for Make America Great
Yes, but not too many. 3.2 million.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
So we're going from 3.2 million to Glory Hallelujah. Higher or lower than 3.2 million?
It's been out for a lot longer.
Yes, it has.
It's been out for 11 years. It's on England Keep My Bones, which is a popular record.
It's all right, isn't it?
Higher?
No.
Oh.
I was surprised. 2.9 million.
Okay, right.
So-
I'm learning. It's a learning curve for
It
me
is.
today.
If you're not having fun, you're learning.
Okay.
So we're going from 2.9 million.
That is not always true. I can, off the top of my head, think of occasions when I was having fun and I was doing the opposite of learning. Information was leaving my mind along with brain cells. But anyway, continue.
So 2.9 million to If I Ever Stray.
If ever I stray.
Yeah, If Ever I Stray. I can't read my own words.
No, a lot of people say that. It's
Yeah.
like loads of people
I
refer
am
to my
dyslexic.
album.
That's my excuse. I'm making an excuse.
I'm
I'm just
not having
sung
a go.
badly in front of you. I need to make some sort of...
But like loads of people say Love Song and I, and it's Love Our Own Song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure why.
No.
And then occasionally I get somebody who says Love Irie and Song, and I'm like, all right, mate, chill out.
Just stop.
Anyway, what was the question? So is it higher or lower than Glory Hallelujah?
Yeah, so 2.9.
Right, higher.
Yes. 8.4 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, look at me. Kiss the guns. Where do you get your stats, by the way?
This is Spotify from Monday when I was compiling.
Oh, right, okay, right,
Yeah.
right, fair enough.
So we're going from 8.4 million to The Way I Tend to Be.
Higher.
Yeah, I mean, no question. 18.2 million.
Oof. Yikes.
And then we're moving on to Get Better. Is it higher or lower than 18.2 million?
I'm going to say it's lower, not by masses, but lower.
No, it is. It's 11.7 million.
Oh, I mean, that's not mass. That's still a fair few streams.
Oh, yeah, it's all right, isn't it?
Come on.
11.
Yeah, it's
11
streaming on
million.
my laptop right now, just going round and round.
You'd have to have your laptop on for
several millennia.
Yeah. Right. So we're now going from 11.7
Right.
to photosynthesis. Higher or lower than 11.7. And I'm going to tell you, there's only 200,000 in it.
Oh.
So which way are you going?
It's been out longer. But then the problem is that it has been out longer, but streaming services didn't exist for quite a lot of period
Yeah.
of time that it has
And
been
people
out.
own the album physically.
Yeah.
CD.
I reckon it's lower.
No, it is. It's 11.9.
No.
These
Right,
stats were
okay.
correct as of Monday, whatever.
Yeah.
This.
No, I'll take your word for it.
Right, so we're going from 11.9 to Long Live the Queen.
So that's higher or lower than photosynthesis? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's the way I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
I reckon higher?
No, 7 million.
Really?
Yeah. I was shocked when I saw that one because it's
Right.
one of my favourite ones.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, yeah, right, okay.
So
Right.
we've got 2 songs left.
Okay.
So we're going from 7 million to 4 simple words.
Higher.
Yeah. 9.1 million.
Really? Is
And,
that, okay.
and then we move on to recovery.
Yes, higher. Because recovery is the top of the list.
Yeah, it's
And it always will.
27.7.
And very proud of that. I am too.
You should be.
It's a funny old thing. Like, I understand the tendency among artists, songwriters, whatever, to be slightly about just having one song that outpaces the others. I mean, I think it's less so for me than for some. Do you know what I mean? I'd imagine. I'm trying to think of an example that isn't like rude to anybody, but like, you know,
Somebody's had a one-hit wonder sort of
yeah,
style.
kind of thing. Well, not. I don't want to say one hit wonder because we dismiss it. But for example, a long time ago, I did a tour with the Automatic, who were a great band, but it was like there was their set and then they played Monster.
Yeah.
And it was kind of unfair because I actually thought they had better songs than that anyway. And it's not that lopsided for me, but nevertheless, I am aware that Recovery is the most popular song that I've written. And some artists get sort of moany and pissy about that, and some of them will like stop playing the big song. You know, Nirvana stopped playing Smells Like Teen Spirit. And whilst, what I'm trying to say is, whilst I understand the motivation by that, my ultimate take on that is get over yourself, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to play 26 songs tonight. I can make one of them the song that got probably half the people in the room to be at the show. Yeah. That seems like and I play what I want for some of the others. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's like, and there are a lot of bands out there who don't have any songs that are that popular and would probably swap a kidney to have that song. Yeah. So get over yourself.
So you actually got 100%. Therefore,
no, I didn't.
Toffee Crisp is yours. Oh no, you didn't, did you?
No, I got two. I got at least 2 wrong.
Oh wow,
I reckon on balance.
Balance.
You've now made me very suspicious of your stats. 100% correct.
These are straight. I've got an A level.
Thank
in maths. I should point
really?
Out. Yeah, it doesn't show, does it?
Oh wow. I was rubbish at maths.
It's the only thing I'm good at.
Right.
How
many fingers am I holding up?
7.
Right, there we go.
Right. Because I kind of came to this interview with actually no questions in mind, because we've done this so many times. I just wanted to actually just kind of just chat to you. There was one thing I saw. It was James Corden was interviewing Kevin Hart, and basically James Corden said that he never actually listens or watches things that people do. He just says that it's amazing. As an artist, when you go to an interview, do you actually just want them to sit there and go, "Yeah, it's amazing," without even having listened to it?
No. Yeah. I mean, I almost I prefer something a little more kind of like nuanced than like, because you do get it. It's like, no, it's amazing. I mean, and I do understand that sitting down and going, that was all right. It's a bit 50-50, mate. Do you know what I mean? Would be more awkward. But yeah, I would. It makes for a more interesting interview when the person knows what they're talking about.
I thought it was the case. I thought you would probably be the only person I could ask that and get an honest answer.
I mean, it's a funny thing because if you do shitloads of interviews at a certain point, like, you say the same things more than once. And secondly, a great piece of advice I got given when I was younger, not directly, I hasten to add, but David Lee Roth. Brief sidebar, by the way. David Lee Roth's autobiography, Crazy from the Heat, I read a lot of music books, biographies, autobiographies, all the rest of it, is a truly demented piece of writing. It's brilliant, but it's also like, clearly he didn't have an editor. And indeed, like, it's borderline incoherent, but also total genius. But like, there's no through line of any description, and you feel quite a lot like you're on drugs just reading it, or just getting beaten up or something. But God bless him, Diamond Dave. They don't make him like that anymore. Anyway, my point was David Lee Roth. Once I saw him saying that if you're being interviewed, you should say things that you'd like to see in print, rather than answering the question, because ultimately that's what they're going to do, is write down the things that you say. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And in terms of dealing with tough interviews and people trying to catch you out and blah, 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 just consider that basically the only things they can write down in quote marks are things that actually come out of your mouth. So think about that. And that's not a bad way of coming at it. I don't consider this to be a difficult interview situation.
No, I don't know how to make it difficult. Right. Because I didn't really write any questions, I asked some fans some questions. Good. As I always do.
Great get out of jail free card.
Yeah, well, it always is, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it?
And plus, you have the best fans in the world who, like, literally, we all love you, so it's fine. So Dane wanted to know, why did you choose Simon Neil for Resurrectionists? Which, when I first heard that song, when I was sent the preview of the album, I was like, Simon I just started screaming in my office, and my wife was like, "What are you doing?"
That's why. You just answered the question. That's why. I mean, it's also Simon's an old friend. I saw Biffy play in '97, I think, at the Scout Hut in Hounslow. They opened. True story. They opened for a friend of mine's band who were awful, and there was about 12 people at the gig. And then Million Dead toured with Biffy. I've toured with Biffy. They're old friends, and Simon's a dude. And there was a certain voice that I wanted to go there. Certain type of voice, and it was like Biffy Clyro. So yeah, and also it was just a thing. I knew it would go down like this, but like I texted Simon and was like, "Do you want to sing a song?" And he said, "Sure." And that was how the contract negotiations went. So yeah, that's why.
Mon the Biff.
Mon the Biff, indeed. Long may they reign.
Yeah. Right. So Claire would like to know, with your ever-growing back catalogue, how hard is it to write set lists these days and actually get 26 songs is quite a long set list, but still you have 100 and something songs to pick from? Like
it is hard on some levels, but I mean, one of the things I've actually been thinking about at the moment, and this is kind of giving the game away, not giving the game away, inner workings. You know, we have a kind of set list I'm pretty happy with for this tour, and tonight is the last day of it, so we're going to play that one tonight. But like, I want to come at the tour for set list for the next tour with a kind of blank slate, and it's kind of interesting. I've been slightly kind of like making a list in my head of like songs that land, that because I've got a pretty good idea of what lands with my audience at a show and what doesn't, and I might add a better idea of it than quite a lot of the people who email me. It's like, why don't you play this one? The place go off, and it's like, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's not to say, you know, I always have a rotating slot in the set to play in some obscure stuff because it keeps me interested, it keeps the audience interested. But yeah, it's like we haven't really been playing Peggy Sang the Blues on this tour, for example. So I'm like, cool, let's make that a pillar of the set list for the next tour. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Haven't really been playing Perfect Score on this tour. Let's make that a pillar of the set list. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of like there's now enough songs that I feel like I can write a pretty different set list for the next tour that will hopefully, you know, keep everybody, myself included, interested.
Yeah. I mean, there's a song of yours which I've never seen you play live, and I don't expect you to ever play live because I think I'm probably it wouldn't go.
No, try me.
Jet Lag.
Oh,
I fucking love Jet Lag.
Thank you. I love that song too. I mean, I played it in Berlin for Lost Evenings because it was like we did the Love Iron Bones thing. I play that song solo from time to time.
Yeah.
But I play solo guitar. Playing on the piano, that's rocking horse shit right there.
Yeah. That's what I want to see tonight.
Right. Okay. We can do it in soundcheck for you right now if you really want.
I won't complain. Right, we're already out of time again, as
no,
always.
Come on. Is there any more coming in?
Oh, I've got loads of questions.
Well, do more. Come on, fuck it. We're all having fun. What's the time?
It is past.
Okay, I've got half an hour before I have to do anything.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying let's do half an hour more of this. But
right, so Suzanne wants to know, what is the most random fact / piece of information that you know that will surprise people?
That's a difficult one because I'm pretty trivia heavy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In the small town that I've moved to recently has an annual pub quiz, and me and my wife joined it this year
and they've already been
came
kicked out.
second, which was something of an upset in the local community. They were like, "Who are these pricks? Come
are
to
you
our
local?"
Town." Yeah. What's the most obscure fact that I know that would surprise people? William Ewart Gladstone was a heroin addict from his early 20s until his death in his 80s, by which point he'd been Prime Minister, I think, 3 times.
Okay, that is a very random fact. And also one I didn't even know. Another one that is that will surprise people is Will wants to know, is there a band or an artist that you like that no one would ever expect? And apparently you're not allowed to say ABBA. We would know that you like ABBA, so pick someone else.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't know. I've done enough kind of interviews that I think anyone paying attention would probably know. I've got a big taste in obscurantist progressive electronica. I have a cousin who used to run a record store called Small Fish in London that was specialised in weirdo electronica. So there's a lot of stuff kind of like Wart Records, City Centre Officers Records, stuff like Klute, not I Am Klute, but Klute, Otto von Schirach, real kind of very, very odd squelchy, like Siberian Glitch. Got a big taste in all that sort of business.
Okay.
I own every single release from Cranky Records, the Canadian post-rock label, which I'm proud of. It's the only real bit of proper record collecting I ever did. I mean, you know, I love a lot of metal and death metal and black metal and weirdo stuff like that, but I think a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You have just listed a bunch of artists who I'm very not aware of.
Right,
So
okay.
we're going to go with that.
And again, I mean, it's like I love country music, but I think a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton's probably the greatest songwriter of the 20th century.
I mean, it's Dolly Parton. Who doesn't like Dolly Parton?
Well, exactly. That's not really...
It's not a question.
Yeah, totally.
So you can't have an answer.
I've probably said this in an interview before, but fuck off, Coldplay are great.
Yes, they are.
And it's just, I'm so bored of people not like, oh, I don't like Coldplay. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Chris Martin's one of the greatest melodic, like, you know, his lyrics, some are great, some are not, but his sense of melody is world class and probably the best in the world and always fucking has been. And shut up. If you'd written Fix You, if I'd written Fix You, if anyone in this room written Fix You, I would have wined and dined myself in an expensive restaurant. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, it's a fucking incredible song.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, fine, he suffers from the kind of overexposure thing. And I'm not the biggest fan of some of the kind of like stylistic territory, but even like that Higher Power song is a great fucking song. It is a really, really good song.
Yep, it is.
And actually, I read an interview the other day where Nick Cave said something very similar, and I was quite vindicated by it because Nick Cave is God, and he was just like, I'm quite good friends with Chris Martin, and Chris Martin's an amazing songwriter, and it was like, damn straight, Nick Cave.
He is.
Yeah.
Right. The final question goes to cameraman Dave's daughter, who wanted to know: A, are you real? And B, when they turn on the radio and you play, do you have to start singing in order for them to hear it?
To take that in reverse order, on the rare occasions when I've heard myself on the radio, it's a very, very strange experience because my brain automatically assumes that I've accidentally like put my phone on or a CD or something and that the radio is broken essentially. And then you realise it is. Well, the best example of this, if it comes on when I'm in a shop. Right, if I'm in a supermarket, this has happened to me like 3 or 4 times in my life, and one of my songs come on, I go, what is that? I know this. How do I know this song? And then I go, it's me. Oh my God, is that my phone going off? And then I go, oh my God, it's me. I'm on the radio. Oh my God. And then, but we haven't finished yet. Then you look around at other people and go, oh my God, everyone's looking at me. Oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I'm going to put my hood up. And then you realise that no one else gives a toss. And no one in the shop cares or is paying any attention. And even if they are, they don't know it's you. And just no one cares. And then you just go, oh, and you buy your milk. And or whatever. And that has happened to me a few times. I do remember there was a beautiful moment. We were on tour in America, and Dave Danger, who is my best friend, or one of, called me up. He was tour managing another band at the time in the UK, and he said that they'd been driving down the motorway, and he had changed the station 3 times, and Recovery was on every single station at the same time, and he was like, for the love of Christ, I don't want to hear your song anymore.
I'm bored of this one.
Yeah, am I real? As far as I'm aware, that's quite...
Yep.
Yeah, Uncle Simon can answer that question for you. I mean, that's arguably quite a profound question, which I'm underqualified, or at least haven't had enough sleep to really dive into that one. Yeah. But yes, I am real.
There we go. Right. Thank you very much as always. I've just thought of one last question which I completely forgot. I interviewed the lottery winners last Friday, and Tom
Aren't
said,
they great?
I fucking love the lottery winners.
Yeah, they're so good.
Start Again is the best song of last year, hands down. And I obviously asked about that. And Tom did say the reason he wanted to get you on the track, and I said, well, what would have happened if he said no? He went, he wasn't ever going to say no. The man's too nice. Ask him to mow my lawn. So we mow Tom's lawn for him.
Yeah, I probably will. You know what? I'm going to say this on camera, right? We got the lottery winners out with us next year in January, February. That is me playing the long game, because at a certain point they are going to be a stadium selling band, and I'm hoping at that point that they will repay the favour and give me a charity support slot for old Uncle Frank. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're going to eat the fucking world, that band.
Love Tom.
I love him, I love all of them. They're just a sensational band, and they deserve to take over the world, and they fucking will.
They will. Thank you, as always. I love you.
Love you too, man. This is great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Toffee crisp.